Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 858 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to talk about autoresponder selling. This is one of the most powerful tools ever invented for internet and digital marketing. The sequential autoresponder is what we're going to talk about today. All right, I hope you didn't miss the previous episode starting at 836. We're on a series of copywriting techniques. So 836 and all the way up till now is copywriting. I think there might be one or two in there that aren't copywriting, but copywriting is one of the most powerful things ever in my whole career. So the time you spend on it, and don't get sucked into the AI is going to do everything for you. I think AI, I don't know, it stands for artificial insemination instead of artificial intelligence, because you gotta think a little bit here, folks, to get the job done with your copywriting. So start with 836. So you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number 836 will be the start of the copywriting series, 837, 838, and so forth. All right. And of course, I want you to check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. It's the longest running, most successful, most unique ever in the field of internet and digital marketing. And grab a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. All right, let's talk about autoresponders. Well, one of the best ways to sell using autoresponders is an eCourse. An eCourse is a very easy thing to develop. These are all emails where you break down your topic into its component parts. I always like to use the example of tennis. If I'm doing, because I have the Fatso Tennis website. So if I was wanting to do a e-course on tennis, I'd break it down into its component parts: forehand, backhand, serve, volley, court movement, all kinds of stuff like that, overheads. And then each piece of that would be a separate email delivered by an autoresponder when somebody opted in to get it. Now, you say, well, that's fine, but a lot of those are free. Yeah, but see, you can sell by starting out with free, or you can have a paid e-course. It's okay with me either way. If it's a free e-course, you want to deliver the things every day while the person's hot. If it's a paid e-course, well, you could give people homework or consultations in between sections of the course. All of that is a way to make a lot of money. I know one guy bought a BMW with one e-course, paid cash for it. Now, one of the mistakes people make, especially with the free e-courses, is that they wait until the last piece of the series. Let's say that's a 7-part e-course. They wait till the 7th email to sell anything. No, that's a massive mistake. You can, as long as you give them the free stuff you promised, at the bottom of each email, you can say something like, hey, if you're really interested in this, I've got a complete course on this. Here's a link to check it out. And it takes them to the sales letter. Nobody's ever going to complain about that. If it's 90% or more of the content you promised and a little link or just a little blurb to tell them about a course, a paid course, nobody's going to complain about that. But don't wait till the end, because you can't be sure they're going to make it to the end of the course, okay? So anyway, e-courses are a great way to sell with autoresponders. And an e-course can be more than just an email, although it's going to be delivered as an email. It could be as simple as, hey, here's the next part of your video e-course or your audio e-course, where it has a link to take them to the video or to the audio on your website. Nothing wrong with that. It's a great way to experiment with. You have to test to see with your market what's best. Okay, now what else can you do? Well, this is not what you can do. This is a great thing about e-courses, and you should remind people about this. See, with using e-courses, you usually get a better email address when people opt in for it. I've been guilty of this myself loads of times, where I want to get a freebie, but I'm not sure that the person is good or they're going to spam me to death or anything. So I use my worst email address and I go check it to grab the freebie, and then I'll never see that person again. All right. So with an eCourse, you can suggest to people when they sign up for it, hey, make sure you use your best email address so that you don't miss parts of the course. All right, so that'll get you a better quality email that they're going to check. And speaking about missing the course, this will drive you crazy with people bugging you to death unless you do what I tell you next. All right, this is kind of an more advanced thing. But see, people will sign up for the course, and let's say they get parts 1 and 2, and then somehow they miss part 3, and the next one they gets part 4. So they're going to email you and say, hey, I missed part 3, will you send it to me? Well, then you've got to manually go ahead and find part 3 and send it to them. No, this is no good for a couple reasons. All right, so what you want to do is at the beginning of each part of your eCourse, you want to give them a link or something that says, hey, if you're impatient or you'd like to see the whole course right away, click here. And you put that in the beginning of each part of the course where you have linked to the whole course as a PDF file or whatever. And that way, the people that are super gung-ho can get it right away and then maybe make a purchase decision like right away instead of waiting for 7 days, to the end of the eCourse. And the people that missed a part don't have to bug you because in each one that they did get, they have a link to the whole course, so they don't have to bug you to death. So that's something I learned that the hard way when, 1,100 people signed up for the thing, and then they started missing parts of the course. I was pulling my hair out trying to catch up, all right? Okay, let's see. Another thing you can use email autoresponders for is after sale follow-up. So they purchase something and you're using it for customer service. So they bought something from you and they get an autoresponder message. And, I got to tell you, all of mine start this way and I can't believe this works, but it works. I'm telling them that they made a great decision to give me money. Okay, think about that. All right, I don't know if that is the most credible thing to tell people that they did a good job giving you money. That it has some inherent flaws in that thinking, but it works. It's a crazy, one of those beautiful, illogical things that works. So the first part of the email says, you made a great decision purchasing the so-and-so, or I usually say investing in, because that's what you're doing in yourself. You're investing in yourself. So I start the autoresponders off like that. And now here's another thing. I want them to feel like when they get an email from me, this is across the board in all my email marketing, that it's going to help them. I want them to feel like, hey, there's something valuable in here. So especially when they've invested in a larger product, a lot of money involved, then I never upsell them. See, autoresponders can be used for upselling, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, but I never do that until they get a series of emails that's just helping them. So, hey, you made a great decision purchasing or investing in the Wake 'em Up Video Professional Speaking System, and it's going to arrive shortly. So here's why you're waiting. Here's another tip on speaking that wasn't even in the course. So blah, 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 blah. Here's some things you can practice right away while you're, before you get the course. And of course, it's all online now, so it's a little bit different than when they had to wait for a box to show up. But after sale follow-up with things that help them with no upselling. Now, the same thing can be done after they opt in for some freebie. You made a great decision grabbing my Automate free book, screwthecommute.com/automate free. It's going to save you hundreds of hours if you just implement even part of these things, blah, blah, blah. So, and after the opt-in follow-up is good. And then there's also, in good systems like the ones I use, you can have a stop or opt-in on purchase or opt-in on download. So I can have them in an autoresponder series trying to get them to do something. And if they actually do it, it stops that series of emails, because it's ridiculous if I tell you to do A and you do A, and then you keep getting emails telling you to do A. All right, so it's kind of ridiculous. So this system will stop them from doing A. After they do A, it stops that series and puts them into a series to do B or something like that. See, so that's really important. Also, autoresponders can be reminders. Hey, your membership's going to end in a week or so. Make sure you get back there and sign up for next year or something like that. So it's reminders, because once people something stops, it's harder to get them started again. And if you catch them early so that they have no lapse in, that's more likely that they'll do what you tell them. If it's after the fact and they've already quit and gone on to something else, or it's just stopped, to get them to start over again is much harder. So autoresponders can give reminders of things. And all of this helps you selling. See, some of it is not direct sales. Some of it is just reminders and good service to people to make them want to do business with you. So autoresponders, massively important for you. So we use kickstartcart.com, have been using it for 20 years. It's it's a mere mortal can operate it. It's extremely powerful. It's 3 times cheaper than its competitors. So that's why I've been recommending it all these years and using it myself personally all these years. Okay, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So go out there and do some eCourses and get your autoresponder series. Some of our series go out 6-8 months to keep in touch with people, to help them after a purchase, especially if they bought the Wake 'em Up speaking system or something big. I want them to really feel like, hey, I'm not deserting them after I got their money. I'm going to really help them out. So use those autoresponders. Check out the mentor program. Listen, I've helped thousands of people become successful online, and I want to help you too. And I have a very unique way that I do it that you will know I will not disappear on. All right, like a lot of the shysters out there will take your money and then you never hear from them. All right, check that out at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and I'll catch you on the next episode. See you later.